I just got off, started getting too tired, started throwing, no bueno. Yeah, sometimes you got to know when to walk away, man. Like sometimes you got to know when to just, you know, either turn on Twitch or get a bite to eat and just kind of kick it for a minute. You definitely never want to grind into the abyss, right? I don't have it pulled up, but I actually typed out like my thoughts on what you got to do. And actually I can pull up what I sent my friend here on Discord and talk to you guys about it real quick. So step one, proactive decks are strictly superior on the ladder. And most of the people I play with, especially my main partner, Mac, we come from Magic. And so in a best of one with no sideboarding option, proactive decks are always going to have an advantage. So you're going to have decks that are good, extremely good in tournament, actually, that are going to lose on the ladder because you have to draw certain things, or you put in removal to deal with certain things, and it doesn't line up well into what you're seeing. So like proactive decks tend to be better. You don't want to have 20 decks that you're playing, and you don't want to change decks after like a single loss. You definitely want to read the meta, and if you're queuing in the same people, like read that. Which really you want like a 2 to 3 deck rotation, because you want to get good at the deck, and you want to have an answer that you're good at that you can move to if you're queuing into like a certain thing, right? So for the people who get hard stuck, like in divisions 4 and 3, at every single rank, doesn't matter. Divisions 4 and 3, that's where all of the off meta craziness lives. And so if you're playing meta decks, you will have this experience of constantly running into like decks that you're like, this has to be bad right now, but it's a hard counter to whatever you're playing. And so you're playing against this deck that can't be more than a 30% win rate deck, but guess what? It runs a 1/1 elusive that puts puff caps in your deck, and you don't have an answer, or you only have like a 1 or 2 of answer to that in your deck. And so you get smoked, like you just can't answer it, so you lose. You're queuing into things that are bad decks, but they're hard counters to whatever archetype you're running. This emphasizes like the proactive point, but you also want to find things that just don't have very many polarized matchups and have like good general sets of tools. And then when you get to divisions 2 and 1, you switch to something that's a little bit more like meta compliant generally. That's why like Ash Sej grinds people into dust in division 4 at every single rank, because you have removal, you have threats, it's consistent, but you never really go big in the decks that are going the biggest. You're not as like cheap and efficient as like scouts, but you just have this very diverse package of tools, and you're generically like, you're always going to be at a B- with that deck. And so because of that, it shines at division 4 and the early part of division 3 on the ladder. And then you can't get out of the top of division 3, and you just like slide back down and slide back up, and you get stuck in that like top of 4-3 range. That's why. The next thing is the number of games it takes, dudes. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at like the win rates. Like we all look at decks for the most part on Mobalytics, but the win rates for the top players, right? A healthy win rate for a very, very good player in this game is like 60%. That's nuts, guys. So what that means is if it takes 20 wins to clear a rank at a 60% win ratio, assuming that's a clean 60%, you need around 43 games. But that's at 60%. If you play too late when you're tired, and you add an extra hour of like bad gameplay here or there, or you change decks too quickly, or you start doing things that influence that win rate, like it's going to take a lot longer. So the average rank floor is going to take about 60 games for the average person. Like gold probably a lot quicker if you're good, but it's going to take an average of about 60 games. And the earlier you are in the meta, the harder it is. You're going to be in gold and platinum queuing into like people who were in the lower part of Masters the previous season. You're going to be like, why am I playing against Grappler right now? Like, what is happening? Why am I playing him? I'm gonna do my best to beat this dude, but why am I playing him right now? And so there's that. And then after that, it's just a list of decks that I think are reasonable and good, but I won't cover that. Like, most of y'all already know this. So that's just a matter of preference. But yeah, so there's that. That's kind of like my take on what you got to be doing in the ladder. All right, we're gonna queue back in. Just looking for ramp and my cards that win me the game. It's possible that he's on a more aggressive list. So I take the ramp here. That's fine. If opponent didn't draw any of his ramp, that's good. Good for me. If I don't hit a piece of ramp, then it's a play Trundle turn. Okay. So we play Trundle here. There's merit to dropping these two, right? And the reason why is because this matchup really comes down to who draws all their ramp, right? Like, this is okay. So there's merit to doing this and this, right? Knowing that this is gonna die. Would it be the craziest thing I ever did if I vengeance to take him off of his ramp? I don't think so. But this vengeance has a pretty high value target later. That said, if based off of opponent's play pattern, if it's hitting a high value target later, I'm probably losing. I mean, he could jam a Trundle here, but like that's not the first Trundle in this mirror. I've played it so many times. Like the Trundle, the first Trundle isn't the game-winning Trundle. It's the dang Trendemir, right? Pass here. So I killed his ramp, right? So I block like this. I play my free pillar. That's fine. This is looking for another thing to do this turn. But now I play my free pillar. Which softens this up. I play this. So I just need to make sure I bank 3 mana here. That's the main thing I need to do, right? Was it based on that he played Tavern Keeper first, therefore you deducted the stones was the only ramp card he had in hand? Yes. Actually, yes. And if I'm incorrect, and here's the other thing, if I'm incorrect, right? Like if I'm incorrect about the ramp, then the alternative is that so I didn't kill it, right? And he had a second piece of ramp, and then he gets ahead on ramp, he gets caught up, and I'm not in this position. So that's bad. The next line is he has a second piece of ramp, and then we're even. Right, so we're killing his Trundle. This is fine. It may have been right to do the Trendemir, since he could have a kill spell off the top. I also like getting into position for an atrocity, and so whittling down his life total is also an acceptable answer. Like I'm perfectly okay with him doing that with this Tryndamere, right? So now we need, what are the lines that beat him here? This is fine. Like, this is still fine, right? Now we play a free pillar. So if he hooks pillars, we flash freeze, and the pillars live, and we kill him on the next turn, right? If he doesn't hook pillars, like, either way, this flash freeze is about to jack him up, right? And this Trundle is, whatever doesn't hook a pillar, that Trundle, like, my Trundle will kill. Okay, so let's see. So it's obviously like harsh winds here and here, right? Like, that's an easy harsh winds. I think banking mana is fine here. Interesting. So obviously we're attacking, right? Baiting a Ruination would be great. Now the question is how are we pulling? Like, if we pull like this, we get one of his triggers off of his Tryndamere. If we pull like this, then he can't block this, and then he's not going to take 10. He'll block, and then that takes both of his Tryndameres off level. I'm assuming we're going to see some interaction here. I just don't know what. Quite a few things to play around too. Like, he could have harsh winds, which would feel extra bad, but not much I can do about that. Although he didn't have he may have had harsh winds last turn because he was tapped out. But I can't beat a harsh winds from this position. Okay. So that kills him, right? Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I see. So he's gonna vengeance it so that it lives. That's fine. Got him. Got him, chat. Got him. Ooh, Karma Swain. Opponents on something spicy. Okay. He's running Swain, so he has copies of Leviathan. I really want to keep this Ruination, because breaking up Swain Leviathan lock is a big deal, but I can draw into it. I'm probably playing this into a Culling Strike, but that's okay. Oh, he's gonna flock it. That actually wouldn't be the worst play. Like, if he flocks this, I'm all about taking this deck off their ramp. Yeah, smart play, opponent. Like, I like that play. I would love for him to TF into this avalanche. Okay, I'll take the pass here. Yeah. I'm obligated to play the Trundle there because not having anything that can block Swain is a problem. He will likely TF, like he may TF and stun this to push damage with these in the TF. Like that wouldn't be a bad line. So the avalanche might just be strictly better. Like, I know I would either be taking 6 or I'd be taking, like, either way I'm gonna take a lot of damage. I think now's a fine time to just kill this. And then I can play this and block another thing. That seems fine. Like, that seems reasonable. That said, Make It Rain feels awful. Like, Make It Rain is gonna feel bad, or TF is gonna feel bad, but then I have Avalanche up the next turn. Yeah, there's a Make It Rain. No, it's not a Make It Rain. That's a flock. So opponent playing his second flock here. Okay. That's cool. So we block, take 3. Okay. This is fine, chat. Let's see if he TFs here. No? Okay. This feels bad because it's a Leviathan turn for him. But I feel like if he had Leviathan, he was playing it before. So maybe he's off Leviathan. Maybe it's Daddy Shark. So it's Pillar. So then we do this. Bank 3 mana, get 9, and then play Feel the Rush next turn. He may have Deny. Like, Deny is a very real card he could be running, right? Because he has Karma. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked to see a Deny here. Yeah, that's fine. Like, that doesn't bother me. So he might look for damage and try and shark through this. He also has the Karma. But I mean, I have the Ruinations, right? Okay. So he's got a shark. Would it be weird here to is it weird here that I really want to like I really want to vengeance this? Like, is that an odd sensation to want to do that? So I do nothing here because opponent has to act. Nope, just Leviathan. That's fine. Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. So he uses that type of thing to, like, draw a whole bunch of stuff? Okay. Opponent's deck's pretty cool. So like, it's very interesting. Opponent's at 14. That's fine. So he's gonna play a Swain. He's gonna play a Swain with deny mana up though. That's the problem. So I think I'm okay with this and healing my Nexus. Like, it takes me off of Feel the Rush the next turn, but he's already shown us a deny. So, and we have to be cognizant of our life total. So we'll just be patient, chat. See if we get the second deny. No? Okay. Now he has a free karma play here? No? Okay. Alright. I mean, I'm playing into a deny here, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Cool. Got him, chat. Spooky Karma. Opponent's deck doesn't really have a whole bunch of early game threats that I care about. I'm looking for ramp, and I'll probably get value off of this Ruination. So let's do that. I'm okay not playing the Trundle here. I think getting to the higher part of my curve is probably a little bit better. Not a matchup that's going to be won by inches. It's a matchup that's going to be won by miles. Now here, I want to go ahead and play the Trundle. So I can pressure him. Okay. Cool. So now what I can do is, he's not going to have Ruination mana up next turn. So this is kind of a free turn for me. Let's see. I'm one off of Feel the Rush. Pillar's free. This one of has been very good for me. Like, when it's good, it's great. It might need to be something that helps us in our aggro matchups, but we've slanted pretty heavily against aggro as is. So that's a card, chat. What do we want to do here? Because he's likely looking to Ruination and then get a whole bunch of value off of that, right? Killing. So if he Ruinates, he won't kill the Tryndamere. He'll likely have a follow-up kill spell for the Tryndamere. But then I still have Lidros, which seems good. Oh, deny. That also works. I'm playing against Ionia right now, chat. I forget these things. That works. Sometimes, so remember 2 minutes ago when I was like, yeah, that one of Howling Abyss has been really good. That's why. That's why it's good, because that happens. And I definitely lost that game without Howling Abyss pulling that ace all there. That was so good. Oh man. Okay, cool. Well, let's keep going. If you're just joining us,